Well, we're also talking about property taxes. Homeowners in Cook County paying for huge tax cuts that the assessor's office says the Board of Review gave out to big corporations. The average owner expected to pay $700 more this year. And that's starting today because bills are due today. Now, one group wants the county's elected officials to reverse what they're calling destructive increases. Pastor Seifield with Landmark Baptist Church on the west side outlines a series of demands to address Cook County's homeowner property tax crisis.
People are asking for a freeze on their taxes.
Yeah.
The people are asking for a rollback of the taxes and fair, reasonable rates. And the people are asking that this system, this broken system, be correct and fixed, because we cannot afford to pay these high taxes.
In response, the assessor's office says, in part, it's past time for Illinois to pass much needed legislation to help working class Chicagoans afford and stay in their homes. Well, justice is going digital in Illinois, with the Court of Claims dropping paper today.
Calling it a long overdue modernization, Secretary of State Alexi Janulius announced electronic filing and remote hearings for the Illinois Court of Claims. The old system relied on mail, stacks of copies, and in-person appearances that slowed cases and blocked access. Claimants will now go to a new online portal to submit claims, upload evidence, track updates, and get real-time notifications. State officials say the move cuts processing delays and expands access for people seeking compensation for injuries, property damage, wrongful imprisonment, and deaths in the line of duty. Sarah Herrera, News Radio 1059 WBBM.
Governor Pritzker talking about the president's comments on the death of actor and director Rob Reiner.
Speaking with reporters after an event in Springfield, the governor took President Trump to task for his social media post regarding Rob Reiner, which the president called him, quote, a tortured, struggling, once very talented movie director and comedy star.
To have the president of the United States attacking them and really, I don't understand.
Governor Pritzker touted the charitable work both Rob and his wife Michelle did over the years and revealed that he was with the two just a few days ago.
I don't understand why the president has to do things like this. What is wrong with him that he has to attack people, especially when their families are suffering?
The Post went on to accuse Reiner of, quote, driving people crazy by his raging obsession with the president. Andy Dane, News Radio 1059 WBBM.
A second man has been charged in a string of armed robberies last month. It happened in the Humboldt Park and Little Village neighborhoods. 18-year-old Tamaje Cole was already in custody in a separate case and now been indicted alongside 21-year-old Marquis Terry in a series of 4 robberies on November 19th. The duo faces multiple counts of armed robbery, and aggravated battery. Police say the pair robbed 4 men at gunpoint in the span of less than 30 minutes on November 19th. Both are due back in court on December 22nd. A dog has been saved from an icy pond. We like these stories. The firefighters from Fox River and Countryside Fire Rescue Districts responded to calls about a dog in distress in a pond behind a house on Hunters Gate Road. The Daily Herald says a firefighter wearing an exposure suit with flotation capability crawled out on the ice and lifted the dog safely out. The dog, who appears to be a husky, was taken to an emergency vet and is expected to be okay. The Kane County Sheriff's Office is trying to find its owner. It's 4:08. Time to turn to the roads. Traffic and weather together on the 8th. And here's Neil Fiorito.
All right, some pretty big travel times on the expressways for your Monday. Starting on the Edens inbound, you're at 27 to the Kennedy from Lake Cook Road. Heavy traffic Tower Road to Skokie Boulevard. And again from Peterson to the junction. The outbound ride to the north suburbs is moving well. On the Kennedy inbound, 48 minutes, 24 in off the junction. Heavy past the River Road Toll Plaza, Ogden. Going outbound 20 to Montrose. You save about 3 in the express lanes. 38 out to the airport. In the express lanes, you're looking good before the Wintrust mural on your North Avenue to about Irving Park, and then you get heavy to the Edens. But again, you're still saving about 3 minutes in the express lanes. On the Eisenhower out, 38 to Manheim, just about an hour to the Jane Addams Tollway. Same coming in from I-90, 35 in for Manheim. On I-55 to Stevenson, expect brake lights on the way out past the Dan Ryan to pass First Avenue. Heavy again. Cass, 27 to Cicero, 42 to the Tri-State, 55 to the Veterans Tollway, 43 inbound, 35 in from 294. Southside, the Dan Ryan about 28 out, and a little slower in the express lanes. You're going to save a couple minutes, particularly the local lanes on the outbound Ryan. Coming inbound, just a little heavy approaching the Jane Byrne interchange. Delays on 57 outbound, about 20 to drive out to I-80. You are delay free on the Bishop Ford. We saw the Lakeshore Drive traffic on either side near Chicago Avenue and through Grant Park. Tollways to Tri-State busy southbound before 290 to Ogden. Also a delay on the Veterans Tollway south, 290 to Lake Street. I-80 westbound brake lights passing US 30 to before Hobart Road. Emergency roadwork continues to block your right lane. Pothole patching, and that may be in place until tomorrow morning. You could use US 30 to US 6 or US 52 to avoid the bad traffic on the westbound side of I-80. Delays in northwest Indiana on 8094 west from Blind to Kennedy and eastbound from Grant over to Broadway. From the Metro Traffic Center, next report 418 News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
For the rest of today, mainly cloudy with a high of 25. Not as cold tonight, leading to a high tomorrow of 36. 40s by Thursday. 21 degrees now at 410.
Hi, I'm Jack Arnold from Arnold Electric.
And I'm Jack of all trades. A lone wolf and proud of it.
Jack, do you do a system inspection before you start work on someone's wiring?
I do not. If I get hired to fix something and it looks like the whole thing's a disaster, I just do my bit, get my money, and get the heck out.
But without reviewing the electrical system, how do you know the thing you fix is going to fix the problem?
Jack, when the next thing breaks, they're gonna call me back. Repeat business, am I right?
At Arnold Electric, every new job comes with a free 32-point safety and maintenance inspection. We check your panel and your meter, look for worn or frayed wires, and check circuit loads and breaker capacity. You need to know the system is sound if you want repairs or new installations to work like they should.
Arnold Electric.
You could be putting a Band-Aid on a bigger problem.
Oh, I've had plenty of Band-Aids.
ArnoldElectric.com.
411, a restaurant in Chicago's Loop raising funds for its chef, who was stabbed on his way home after work.
Months after the chef at Saucy Porca in the South Loop was stabbed outside of his apartment, owner Amy Lee has set up a GoFundMe page to help pay for his medical bills after doctors told the chef it would be more than a year before he gets back to work. In the meantime, the popular Asian Latin fusion spot will be permanently closing the Loop location. Lee telling Block Club Chicago when he wasn't there anymore, it just didn't feel the same for me. The two worked together for more than a decade. Mallory Vorbroger, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Chicago police looking for information about a deadly accident in Logan Square last week.
The crash happened last Monday around 1:30 a.m. near Hamlin and Diversey. A 31-year-old woman died after she was ejected from the passenger seat of a car driven by another 31-year-old woman. Now police are asking the public for help in gathering information about the crash, including witness and video footage. Police say that crash happened when the driver lost control and hit an unoccupied car and then a semi-trailer truck. She was expected to be okay. Carolina Garibay, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
3 men arrested after an armed robbery and police pursuit that started in McHenry County.
Harvard police say the suspects robbed 2 people who were selling jewelry through Facebook Marketplace near Harvard High School early Thursday morning. The suspects allegedly displayed a rifle, stole the jewelry, and fled the scene. Deputies chased the vehicle into Racine County, where spike strips were used to stop it. All 3 suspects were taken into custody. The stolen jewelry and a rifle were recovered. Now, one of the suspects is Dominic Black, the man who authorities say supplied the rifle used by Kyle Rittenhouse in the deadly 2020 Kenosha shootings. All 3 are charged with armed robbery and face additional charges in Wisconsin. Rachel Pearson, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
The AccuWeather 5-day forecast. If you like warmer weather, you're going to like it. That's coming up next.
Proud to be named the 2025 Station of the Year by the Illinois Broadcasters Association for the 2nd consecutive year. Every day, our newsroom is dedicated to serving Chicago with the latest news, traffic, and weather. News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/radio to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/radio for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/radio for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/radio. See representative for warranty details.
On the days when you're thriving.
Come on, everyone. You're almost there.
The nights when you need us most.
Mom, I don't feel good.
And every moment in between. As a Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois member, we are committed to helping you stay covered at each stage of life. Whatever challenges may come your way, our mission is to be here for you and your family so you can feel confident as the new year approaches. Visit standbyouillinois.com to see the steps you'll need to take to renew your coverage. And with nearly 90 years of experience, you can expect personalized guidance throughout the process, helping you stay covered into 2026 and beyond. We thank you for trusting us on your health and wellness journey through it all. Visit standbyouillinois.com or call 866-575-2583 to renew your coverage today.
4:15, the AccuWeather 5-day forecast, sponsored by Four Seasons Heating, Air Conditioning, Plumbing, and Electric, and warmer days ahead. Brian Thompson?
We'll see highs in the 40s, Lisa, by later in the week, which is a vast improvement from what we've been seeing. Even tonight, at least a step in the right direction. Still pretty cold. Temperatures will be down into the teens in most spots. But again, not as cold as it has been in recent nights under a partly cloudy sky. Intervals of clouds and sunshine for tomorrow. And for the first time in several days, will be above freezing up to a high of 36 in the afternoon. Mainly cloudy for tomorrow night. Areas of fog late could lead to a few slippery spots, especially south and west of the city, a low of 29. Mix of set of clouds Wednesday, high 39. Some rain arrives late Wednesday night. We do expect rain into Thursday, which will taper off in the afternoon, a high of 45. Things could freeze up, though, Thursday night as temperatures drop sharply. And a much colder day on Friday, despite some sun, a high only 25. But it is going to warm back up again heading into the weekend. 21 degrees right now at O'Hare. It's 22 at Midway, 20 in Downers Grove, 21 at the lakefront. And temperatures will drop into the teens in most spots tonight. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Brian Thompson.
Hey, Brian, thank you. It is 4:16. Time to find a new Chevrolet at applechevy.com, serving you since 1963. And from the applechevy.com sports desk, here's Chris Emma with Victory Monday.
We'll get to the Bears in a bit, but first on the hockey side, because Connor Bedard has enjoyed a breakout season to this point, standing 4th overall in points and 5th in goals scored. That is coming to a halt. In the final second of Friday night's game in St. Louis, Bedard was knocked down to the ice and emerged in clear pain. He was grasping at his shoulder, skating off the ice. It's a devastating setback for both Bedard and the Blackhawks. Here's Rick Gregg with more.
Connor Bedard's upper body injury won't even be reevaluated until after the new year. That's the latest, but coach Jeff Blashill says it's also what the team expected. Bedard went down with what appeared to be a serious shoulder issue in the final second of a loss in St. Louis Friday night. He skated straight off the ice, holding his arm and letting out several expletives of pain. If there's any good news, it's that Blashill says Bedard wants to be considered day-to-day. But of course, it's the doctors and trainers who make that decision. Covering the Blackhawks, Rick Gregg, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
In the NFL, the Bears reached 10 wins for the first time in 7 years. They beat up the Browns in a 31-3 victory along the lakefront. Caleb Williams threw for 242 yards and 2 touchdowns. DeAndre Swift rushed for a pair of scores, and the Bears recorded 3 picks on Shedeur Sanders. Thanks to a little help from the Broncos, the Bears have jumped over the Packers for first place in the division. This comes ahead of an anticipated Saturday night meeting at Soldier Field. On the injury front, Tremaine Edmonds has been designated for a return from IR. The Bears opened up his 21-day window to be activated, but Roman Unze on the downside could be facing a shutdown. He's been dealing with a stress fracture in his foot. Elsewhere in the NFL, it was a really tough Sunday on the injury front. Patrick Mahomes and Micah Parsons, 2 superstars, each suffered torn ACLs. The injury to Mahomes came with the Chiefs eliminated from playoff contention for the first time since 2014. With sports at 16-46, I'm Chris Emma of 670, the score for News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
All right, Chris, thank you. 418 traffic sponsored by nutsonclark.com. And here's Neil Fiorito.
Appreciate all the calls today on the WBBM Mercedes-Benz of Hoffman Estates traffic tip line, 855-780 Road, letting us know what's happening along I-80. This has been going on most of our day today. Your westbound traffic stop and go before Briggs to before Humboldt. You have emergency roadwork there in the right lane. It is pothole patching, and that lane may be shut until early tomorrow morning. As always, we will keep you posted. You can use US 30 for now, bring it over to US 6 or US 52 to avoid these massive delays on the westbound side of I-80 in Joliet. On the expressways, Eden's coming in about a half hour. No delays outbound. You're at 15 minutes. Kennedy 50 minutes in, close to 40 to drive out to O'Hare. On the Eisenhower, about an hour either way to and from the Jane Addams Stowaway. Stevenson going on 47 to Tri-State for 1 hour and 3 3:55 and 50 minutes in. Southside Expressways all good on the
by the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development. The federal agency is looking into the CHA's practices surrounding the verification of residents' immigration status and criminal backgrounds. We'll have much more on the story coming up at 4:31. Well, Chicago doctors reflecting back 5 years ago today when she was the first person in the city to get vaccinated against COVID. Dr. Marina Del Rios remembers the day she rolled up her sleeve and was instantly in the local and national spotlight.
I never expected to become that famous that quickly.
At the time, she says it was a joyous sense of relief and a chance to be an example for her fellow Chicagoans and to reassure the vaccine was safe. But she says since then, there's been a bit of regression in trust and in science.
More investment in public health messaging would be that is accurate is something that we need, and it's distressing to see a lot of our public health offices being defunded by the current administration, and really just so much undoing of so much unraveling of all the public health initiatives that have been present for decades.
Dr. Del Rio says a big part of her job now has become battling vaccine disinformation and addressing vaccine hesitancy. But she says 5 years after its rollout, the COVID vaccine continues to be safe, just like the flu, RSV, and other vaccines. Chicago-based La Guadalupana Foods recalling over 2,600 frozen tamales after they did not disclose an allergen. The USDA says the bean, cheese, and jalapeno tamales were mislabeled as mild pork tamales, and that means the product contains cheese, a known allergen, which is not declared on the product label. The tamales were shipped to restaurants and retail locations here in Illinois, Wisconsin, Iowa, and Ohio. So far, no illnesses. Bloomberg Business coming up next.
Go! Bears! Maybe you shouldn't have gotten shirtless in this weather. It's a nice Bears jacket. Oh, thanks. I bought it with the Chicago Bears PNC Bank Visa debit card, which gives exclusive discounts on Bears merchandise. It looks so soft and warm. Can you get discounts on gloves? Yeah. Face covers? Sure. Socks? Yeah. Wait, why would you not wear socks?
Find out more at pnc.com/bearscard. PNC Bank, the official bank of the Chicago Bears. PNC Bank National Association, member FDIC. Visa is a registered trademark of Visa International Service Association and used under license.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS.
1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. Hurry! It's our last chance to donate for 2025.
4:23, now business from the PNC Bank Business Desk, official bank of the Bears, and here's Tom Busby.
Ford's electric engine F-150 Lightning pickup and Mach-E Mustang made big splashes, but they didn't sell well. So now, Ford is shifting away from making EVs, refitting plants to make more gas-powered and hybrid vehicles. And that shift will result in $19.5 billion in charges, most of that in the fourth quarter. iRobot, maker of those Roomba automated vacuums that may be on a lot of adults' holiday wish list this year, has filed for bankruptcy. is proposing handing over control of the company to its main Chinese manufacturer. And today that sent shares of iRobot tumbling down more than 72%, while elsewhere on Wall Street, stocks were lower ahead of tomorrow's government shutdown delayed November jobs report, not expected to be strong. The Dow today down 41, the S&P lost 11, and with continued weakness in tech, the Nasdaq was down 139. That's over 0.5% lower today. And the value of Bitcoin, another leg lower. It's now under $86,000. With business at 23 and 53 from the Bloomberg Newsroom, Tom Busby, News Radio 1059 WBBM.
We've got a stall in the Dan Ryan now. We're going to check in with Neil and the latest traffic information coming up.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/radio to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine the treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio. HIMS.com/RADIO.
Staples presents An Easy Holiday.
My holiday list was a mile long.
La 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 la, boo hoo hoo.
Staples made it easy with big savings on tech gifts.
I'm listening.
And I saved big on custom holiday cards, too. Plus, Staples has UPS shipping in store.
Holy flying reindeer. Shop Staples today for 50% off custom cards, invites, wrapping paper, labels, stamps, and photo gifts.
That was easy.
In store and online expires 12/20. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details.
Now there's a new way to take charge of your blood sugar. Introducing new Garlic Healthy Blood Sugar Formula from the makers of the nation's best-selling garlic supplement. New Garlic helps maintain healthy blood sugar levels with clinically supported levels of garlic, plus a custom blend of vitamins and minerals, and it's odor-free. Take charge of your blood sugar with new Garlic Healthy Blood Sugar Formula. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Use as directed.
This portion of the news sponsored by AdventKnows.com.
Great news, Nick. Legacy boxes are still in stock. With Christmas just around the corner, there's still time to buy the best Christmas gift ever. Legacy Box.
That's right, Adam. Order today and Legacy Box ships immediately. It'll arrive ready to wrap and place under the tree.
Gather the family together this Christmas and collect all your old VHS and camcorder tapes, slides, pictures, and film reels. Then you can binge on the good old days.
From fading over time to risks like fire and water damage, your memories aren't protected unless they're on a digital format. Legacy Box helps you replay those great moments from the past, from Christmas morning to your wedding day.
Legacy Box is the world's largest digitizer of home movies and photos. All the work is done right here in the USA, and over 1 million customers have trusted Legacy Box.
This Christmas is the time to digitize. Visit legacybox.com/value for exclusive holiday savings. That's legacybox.com/value for last-minute shopping. legacybox.com/value.
428 to the roads now. Neil Fiorito.
Dan Ryan delays on the outbound side from 43rd to the Skyway. We have a stall in the right lane. You stay pretty heavy out to the split. 35 outbound. Your right inbound looks okay. Metro wants to remind you to avoid delays to and from. Avoid the Dan Ryan and pick up a train. The Metro electric line available for you. The 75th Street stop on the south side. Looking over on I-80, you still have a bad backup westbound from Briggs to before Humboldt, and that's emergency road work in the right lane. Some pothole patching there. That lane may be closed until tomorrow morning. For right now, avoid that traffic by using US 30 over to US 6 or US 52. Further to the east and northwest Indiana, you have traffic on 8094 eastbound from Burr over to Broadway and westbound from Burr to Kennedy. Back to the expressways we go. The Eden's coming in about a half hour. No delays outbound through the north suburbs. You're moving well to Lake Cook Road. On the Kennedy in 50 minutes, you're about 40 to drive out to the airport, and you do save time in the express lanes on the way out. Eisenhower, an hour to and from the Jane Addams Tollway. Stevenson outbound, you're 1 hour to 355. 50 in from the Veterans Tollway to DuSable Lakeshore Drive. And it looks like a new crash on I-57 outbound right before I-80 Traffic is getting really heavy from 159th Street, 25 for now to get out to I-80. From the Metro Traffic Center, next report, 438, News Radio 105.9, WBBM.
Cloudy skies, 21 degrees at 4:29.
Here's a great savings idea. Did you know you've got the power to manage your energy? Yep, from usage alerts to energy savings programs and more, ComEd has all kinds of ideas to help you gain control over your energy costs. Find out more at ComEd.com/energy savings.
You know that sound, and you better get used to it, because when you bank with Consumers Credit Union, you've got people cheering for you everywhere you go. CCU is a not-for-profit owned entirely by its members, so we truly have your best interest at heart. Even better, we welcome everyone. When you get lower fees, great rates, and a team that's always got your back, you win. Visit the new myconsumers.org. Consumers Credit Union, the people in your corner. Insured by NCUA.
Chicago's news, traffic, and weather station, News Radio 105.9 and WBBMNewsRadio.com.
4:30. Good afternoon. I'm Lisa Fielding. Here are the top stories on News Radio WBBM.
This is Rachel Pearson. The Chicago Housing Authority faces a federal audit over its immigration and crime checks.
Local faith leaders calling on elected officials to help Cook County residents who are having trouble getting together their tax payments for this year. Australian lawmakers get to work on tightening up gun laws after yesterday's shooting attack at a Hanukkah celebration. Plus, the younger of Rob Reiner's sons has been booked on murder charges in connection with the killing of his parents in Los Angeles. In business.
I'm Tom Busby at Bloomberg. Wall Street ends lower ahead of tomorrow's delayed November jobs report. The Dow today down 41, the Nasdaq lower by 138, the S&P lost 11.
Cloudy skies, 21 degrees. The news continues, sponsored by Dunning Square. It is 4:31. Federal auditors are taking a closer look at the Chicago Housing Authority today. WBBM's Rachel Pearson tells us why.
The U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, or HUD, is examining whether CHA followed federal rules when checking residents' immigration status and criminal histories, and how the agency works to prevent crime in public housing. According to the Sun-Times, the review is being conducted by HUD's Office of Inspector General and covers the last 3 years. It's part of a broader Trump administration push targeting immigration enforcement and public safety in Democratic-led cities. CHA officials didn't respond to requests for comments. Rachel Pearson, News Radio.
extension of the December 15th deadline to appeal property tax increases and insurance of the cap.
The assessor's office says they're advocating for property tax or more. Now, for Broker News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
It's 4:33 around the world now. Officials in Australia are calling for stricter gun laws after yesterday's deadly shooting at a Hanukkah celebration at Bondi Beach.
Australian leaders promised Monday to immediately overhaul already tough gun control laws after a mass shooting targeted a Hanukkah celebration on Sydney's Bondi Beach. At least 15 people died in Sunday's attack, which has fueled criticism that authorities are not doing enough to combat a surge in anti-Semitic crimes. Among the new measures suggested would be a limit on the number of guns someone can own and a review of licenses held over time. Prime Minister Anthony Albanese had already proposed adjusting gun laws in an earlier press conference.
We will do whatever it is that we can if laws need to be adjusted to make changes.
This limit and other actions would represent a significant update to the landmark National Firearms Agreement, which virtually banned rapid-fire rifles after a gunman killed 35 people in Tasmania in 1996, galvanizing the country into action. I'm Lawrence Brooks.
Closer to home, the 32-year-old son of director Rob Reiner in custody today after he and his wife Michelle died from apparent homicides. Details from CBS's Anna Schechter.
Their son, Nick Reiner, was arrested on Sunday. Last night, he was booked today. He's being held on $4 million bond, and there are no charges listed in the Los Angeles County records that we've reviewed.
Across the country, people are mourning and remembering Rob Reiner, including former President Barack Obama, who said in part that Rob's achievements in film and television gave us some of our most cherished stories on screen. And we're continuing to learn more about the Brown University shooting that killed 2 students and injured 9. Law enforcement in Rhode Island have said there's a new person of interest. They're holding a press conference right now, but they are remaining pretty tight-lipped about other details. It comes after the investigation fully moved away from the person initially wrongly identified as a person of interest yesterday. Currently, officers are recanvassing the area around campus, looking through security footage from local businesses and working to reconstruct the suspect's movements. In California, federal authorities announced that they thwarted a planned New Year's Eve target attack in the Los Angeles area. CBS's Scott McFarland has more on those arrested.
Federal prosecutors say the 4 people they've arrested are part of an anti-government extremist group called the Turtle Island Liberation Front. They allege they busted the group while they were testing bomb-making equipment or would-be bombs in the Mojave Desert on Friday. And according to the investigators, the group was plotting New Year's Eve bombings near major commercial distribution centers in California.
Prosecutors say they each face charges including conspiracy and possession of a destructive device. Coming up in a minute, we'll check on the roads, your weather, and your gas prices. It's 4:36.
Here's a great savings idea. Did you know you've got the power to manage your energy? Yep, from usage alerts to energy savings programs and more, ComEd has all kinds of ideas to help you gain control over your energy costs. Find out more at ComEd.com/energy savings.
This is for all my listeners who are struggling with hair loss. I'm sure you've tried lotions, the pills, the creams, and the potions. With so many options and doctors out there, who are you really going to trust? What's really going to grow your hair back? The Advanced FUE from Advanced Hair is an incredible breakthrough. Receding hairline, thinning hair, bald spots. Advanced Hair offers a simple, quick, one-day treatment that begins regrowing your own natural hair the very next day. And get this, Advanced Hair even guarantees your new hair will grow. It works for men and women across all ages, and I personally recommend Advanced Hair to everyone. For your free consultation, $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. Give them a call, 872-217-HAIR, and don't forget to ask about that guarantee. That's 872-217-HAIR, or for the incredible before and afters, visit advancedhair.com.
Now, the lowest gas prices from News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Sponsored by PackyWebFord.com. During the Ford year-end event, qualify and get 0 financing for 60 months, plus big PackyWeb discounts on a huge selection of new Ford models. In River Grove, the BP on Grand and River has gas for $2.89 a gallon. In Des Plaines, the SNK on Oakton and Cora has gas for $2.99. Coming up.
This is Andy Day. The state of Illinois pours more money into the fight to end homelessness.
That's on the way, but first let's get a check of the roads. Sponsored by Menards, and here is Neil Fiorito.
Pretty heavy on the Dan Ryan outbound from 43rd to the Chicago Skyway. We had a gas customer there who needed IDOT to get some gas in their vehicle. That happened. Now that stall is out of the way and the lanes are back open again. 35 to drive to the split. You're 17 inbound. Stop and go traffic on I-57 outbound from 159th to before I-80. Crash blocking at least a lane there. Close to 30 minutes to drive out to 80. The Bishop Ford outbound, just some brake lights from the Dan Ryan to the Stony Island feeder. Looking at the tollways, we now have a crash on the Tri-State southbound at Ogden in the already busy work zone. You lose your left lane there. Stop-and-go traffic from the Bensonville Bridge. Over on the Reagan Tollway, delays westbound from Winfield Road to Route 59 and eastbound from York to the northbound Tri-State ramp. 355 is the Veterans Memorial Tollway. Traffic southbound from 290 to Lake Street and approaching the Reagan Tollway. I-80 westbound, stop and go from Briggs to before Holt Road. Emergency road work there in the right lane. That is pothole patching, and that lane may be closed until early tomorrow morning. Delays on 8094 in northwest Indiana, westbound from Burr to Kennedy, and eastbound a delay from Grant over to Broadway. Back to the expressways we go. The Eden's coming in 33, 18 to get out to Lake Cook Road. On the Kennedy to and from the airport, 52 in. You're 40 minutes outbound. The express lanes on the way out save you about 4 minutes. The Eisenhower ends at hour 5 and 50 out to the Jane Addams Tollway. On the Stevenson getting out to the Tri-State 47 and hour 3 to 355. 50 minutes inbound, you're 35 in from 294. From the Metro Traffic Center, next report 448 News Radio 1059 WBBM.
WBBM AccuWeather, partly cloudy for tonight. Not nearly as cold as recent nights. Low temperatures mostly in the teens tonight. Tomorrow breezy and not as cold in the afternoon with intervals of clouds and sun, high 36. Mainly cloudy tomorrow night, some areas of fog later on. That could be just enough to lead to a few slippery spots, especially south and west of the city. Low tomorrow night, 29. Then for Wednesday, a mix of sun and clouds and a high of 39. Some rain will arrive late Wednesday night. 21 degrees at O'Hare right now, 22 at Midway, 19 in Kenosha, 21 at the lakefront. Temperatures will be down in the teens at both spots tonight. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Brian Thompson.
On the market watch, Dow, S&P, and the Nasdaq all begin the week in the red. It is 440. Illinois is putting some more money into the fight against homelessness.
We have important work to do, and our work is life and death.
Leaders gathered in Springfield to announce a new $2 million investment from the Home Illinois program. Funds that will go towards permanent housing initiatives for those experiencing homelessness in the central Illinois area.
Supportive housing keeps people close to health care, mental health services, and local supports, allowing people to manage chronic illnesses, stabilize mental health, and avoid repeated crises.
Governor Pritzker says the initiative comes at a critical time as temperatures plummet statewide and some in Washington aim to defund certain homelessness prevention programs.
Every Illinoisan that does not have a safe, comfortable place to lay their head at night represents an emergency.
Andy Day, News Radio 1059 WBBM.
Well, in case you haven't heard, the Bears are back in first place in the NFC North, and one expert says the team has the potential to be a nationwide brand.
The Bears bounced back into first place thanks to Sunday's dominating win over the Cleveland Browns and the Broncos beating the Green Bay Packers in Denver. The Bears have yet to make the playoffs or win a Super Bowl in their current configuration. But Mark Gannis, president of Sports Corp Limited in Chicago, tells the Noon Business Hour the Bears have the potential to take the title of America's team from struggling powerhouses like the Kansas City Chiefs, the Dallas Cowboys, and both New York teams.
Not just because of their great play, quarterback, the enthusiasm on the field, the great head coach, but also because a bunch of these other teams that are in major markets have failed.
He adds a winning Bears season is good for local bars and restaurants, local media, and tourism. Rob Hart, News Radio 1059 WBBM.
Coming up today in sports, Victory Monday. Speaking of the Bears, and we're going to talk to Chris Hema about that, and we're going to have some top trending stories next. It's 442.
From the small shops in Pilsen to the skyscrapers of Wacker Drive, business is the heartbeat of the Chicago area. I'm Rob Hart. WBBM's Noon Business Hour is in the thick of it every weekday, covering the challenges, the innovators, and the smart spending hacks that benefit your bottom line. When you stay in the know, Chicago businesses grow. Chicago's news, traffic, weather, and business station, News Radio 1059 WBBM.
There are only about 4,300 publicly traded companies on the U.S. Stock Exchange. But there are an estimated 33 million companies in the U.S. Hi, I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. The average investor is missing out on over 99% of the investment opportunity that's happening in this beautiful country until now. True portfolio strength is found beyond the confines of the S&P 500, investing in promising companies before they go public. private real estate, infrastructure, world-changing technologies. This is called the endowment model. The endowment model has historically outperformed the traditional model of just stocks and bonds. If you're an accredited investor and want more from your investments, it's time to think beyond just stocks and bonds. Call Trajan today, 630-230-7400. That's 630-230-7400.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. See website for details.
If you've never used TikTok before, now is the best time to try it. TikTok is giving new users a free $20 voucher that you can spend on anything in the TikTok shop. No minimum purchase required. Just download the TikTok app and create your account. Then come back after 24 hours and search for Get Gift. That's GETGIFT to receive your $20 voucher. Use it in the TikTok shop for gadgets, fashion, and more. Shipped directly to your door. Don't wait. Download TikTok today and get your $20 gift tomorrow.
See website for details. Bills Happen is not a lender and does not make credit decisions. Hey, bills happen! So when you need extra cash fast, go to billshappen.com. Have you been turned down? Are your credit cards maxed out? Do you have bad credit? Go to billshappen.com. You can find a lender and get up to $5,000 cash as early as tomorrow. Billshappen.com. You're safe, secure, and all online. Just remember, when you need cash, go to billshappen.com. Billshappen.com for the cash you need now. Billshappen.com.
Paid non-attorney spokesperson. Paid for by Action Matters.
Attention victims of church clergy sexual abuse. If you were sexually abused at a church or a school by a member of the clergy, listen closely, as you may be entitled to financial compensation. Even if the abuse happened decades ago, your case could still qualify for compensation. If you suffered abuse from clergy members and those who knew about the abuse but failed to stop it, no matter how long ago it was, call our law firm's confidential clergy abuse helpline at 800-712-3253 to find out if you're eligible for a cash settlement. Our attorneys may be able to get you justice, closure, and substantial compensation while your case remains fully confidential. Receive the financial settlement you deserve and hold those responsible accountable. Call now to find out if your case qualifies for compensation. Don't wait. Call our law firm's 100% confidential clergy abuse helpline right now to seek justice and compensation. Call 800-712-3253. That's 800-712-3253. 800-712-3253.
Top trending stories on WBBMNewsRadio.com.
Inexperienced skiers are getting lost in Vermont's backcountry after watching TikTok videos of powder runs, and it's causing rescues to nearly triple. In the latest rescue, two 19-year-olds from New York had to be helped down after getting lost, later telling the team that saved them they were inspired by a skiing out-of-bounds video. Rescue crews are now creating their own social media content to teach people of the danger of skiing where they shouldn't be. And take this with a grain of salt, but a doctor from a WebMD thinks she knows the safest plane seat to travel, even if you want to avoid getting sick. She says the window seat farthest from the bathroom is your best bet for staying healthy through the holiday travel season. Interesting, which according to the TSA is supposed to be a record breaker. Her reasoning is that you'll have fewer people breathing on and brushing past you. Makes sense, but also adds that washing your hands is also a must to avoid illness. All right, 446, time to find the new Mercedes-Benz at lovermotors.com. Sports sponsored by Menards, and here's Chris Emma.
Leeds and the Bears are back atop the NFC North standings. With 3 games remaining in this regular season, Chicago is in first place. The Bears took care of business by beating up the Browns 31-3. Then came a little help from the Broncos, who beat the Packers in Denver. Factor in a loss for the Lions and the Rams, and things went quite well for the Bears. If you were scoreboard watching yesterday, well, you're not alone. So too was linebacker TJ Edwards.
Where we live, we only get certain games. So I definitely had the Green Bay game on, and